plane.
No, I'm asking you, how did he let illegal immigrants into the country?
Opened up our borders.
How? Do you think he just like sat there with his big...
I just know he did. But anyways,
No, I'm not. I don't really. I'm asking you, how did he open the border up? Because that doesn't really make sense to me.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna get out there. But look,
no. You're not going to get off that. You're not going to dream shake away from this. I want you to answer.
Because
how did he open the border? I want you to explain that to me.
A bunch of illegal immigrants on a plane to our country.
How did he do that? Did he go and he have a plane sitting in Mexico and he said, "Come on in"? He put him on a plane and come on. Is that what he did?
He might have. I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. You think that there was excuse me. You think that there were millions of people coming over on a plane? That's what you believe now?
How to explain how over millions of illegals just came to our country?
That's not my job here. You just made the argument that Joe Biden let them in. I want you to explain to me, how did he let them in?
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know, but
no. This is what I'm talking about. This is how conservatives come forward with things that they have no idea about. Because he did not let them in. You cannot tell me one example of him doing that.
So it's like Elon Omar didn't benefit.
I want you to. I don't really care about your attempts to pivot. I want you
with that subject, but the tariffs.
Thank you. Like every single conservative on this issue, they don't know what they're talking about.
But
what's next?
Okay, we can't agree that the Democrats are a disgrace for not standing up at the state union.
I don't give a shit about that.
I do.
Okay, then you go care about that. You know what I care more about? You know what I care about? I care about the fact that our energy bills are up 13%. I care about the fact that our healthcare premiums are up by 26%. I care more about the fact that our groceries are up in this country. I care more about the fact that layoffs are up all around this country. And I care more about the fact that farmers are losing their farms because of Trump's stupid, low IQ, and smooth brain policies. So you can care more about whether or not someone stands up during a State of the Union. I care more about people's lives. It's a big difference.
The electric bills are up because of new grids they are putting in across America. Or because they are robbing everybody of their money.
Or because of the fact that he got rid of clean energy, which led to a reduction in the availability of energy, which led to an increase in our bills. Maybe that would have something to do with it.
Look. Kamala was president, we had already started World War III.
Here you go again, pivoting to something else because you can't stay focused on Trump and the energy bills, which is the conversation that we're having.
Trump doesn't control that.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't control our grocery prices.
Yes, he does.
Gas is an all-time low.
Yes, he does control that. When he goes forward, because you don't know what. Shake away from this. This is what happens when you debate someone that's not one of those Fox News people. This is what happens when you have you can't guard me, bro. The Republicans cannot guard me, dog. It's crazy. They cannot pivot. They don't know what to do when they can't pivot. Every single time. Every single time. This is what I'm talking about. These Republicans have no idea what they're talking about. They've destroyed the economy. They're raising prices left and right. They're a joke. It's a dead party. It's over. Man, this is terrible. Terrible. Everybody, don't tell. Let's get this live trending. Do it. What's up?
No, wanted to give you some kudos, if that's cool.
I appreciate it.
You let people up and you let them talk and you debate them, and a lot of people don't do that on these lives. So, I'm going to give you some kudos on that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll say this and I'll hop off. I wanted to say one thing about the Biden not letting the border crisis happen. He didn't completely let it happen. I'm not going to be naive and say that it was completely his fault. He did end remain in Mexico,
Remain in Mexico was struck down by the courts, my friend.
He ended it. Look, it's fine.
It was struck down by the courts.
Sure, but he signed the executive order to end it.
No, the courts are the ones that ended it. It's important to have that distinction here. It ended because
that's fine.
It ended because Remain in Mexico was enforced through Title 42, which was a public health declaration order. And when the conservatives said that COVID was over and that they wanted to end that declaration, Biden got rid of it at their request. But then that also got rid of Title 42 because Title 42 was with public health and it was no longer allowed to be in effect. That was no longer something that could continue. And that is exactly what the court ruled.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
I'll just let you, yeah. I mean, why was the border so much worse under him? Well, I don't know. I'm asking.
Well, it had everything to do with the fact that you had a once-in-a-generation pandemic going on. You saw leaving poor countries and going to wealthier countries. Is exactly why you saw an uptick in illegal immigration all around the world. Excuse me. I want to make sure I can answer this question. Why you saw an uptick in illegal immigration in the United Kingdom under a conservative government, including a right-wing Home Secretary, Suella Braverman. You saw an uptick in that, despite their conservative policies, an uptick in Italy, an uptick in Germany, an uptick in France. All around the world, countries were dealing with people leaving poor countries and then going to wealthier countries during the pandemic. The United States was no different. People were leaving Mexico to come to the United States because of the pandemic, and that's reflected all around the world. Of course.
Okay, so they were leaving Mexico or the South American countries through Mexico to come to the United States.
Yes.
Why should that change the amount of people we let in?
What are you talking about? Let in. This is the word that I always struggle with. Let in. What does that mean?
Sure.
I don't understand what that means.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say right now there was only 100 people that were at the border that wanted to get in. And then a month later, there was 10,000 people that wanted to get in.
Yeah, because of the circumstances that I described to you. Now, I just want to make sure that I want to make sure
why does that matter?
Why
does the circumstance?
I want to make sure. Because if more people, that's the situation. But I want to make sure that I can address this. I'm not here to defend Joe Biden. I'm here to talk about. He's made the subject that we're talking about.
How is this immigration policy making us less safe?
Because
I do want to know about that one.
Absolutely, absolutely, because because only 5% of the people they're deporting are violent convicted criminals. That's pathetic. Under Barack Obama, 92% of the people that we were deporting were convicted criminals, and of those 92%, 81% of them were considered by the federal government as the worst of the worst. Those were violent, dangerous thugs that were in our country. These were gang members. These were violent people that we were deporting out of our country, and we did that across hundreds of thousands of people. Under you guys, only 5% of the people are violent, convicted criminals. That is a very small number. So what that means is the focus is not on rounding up gang members and rounding up the El Chapos of the world or rounding up the people that are actually trafficking things into the United States. It's going to places like CVS or Walmart or whatever it is and rounding up someone that just speaks Spanish or getting off the street the grandmother that they profiled. That doesn't make us more safe. I think that immigration enforcement needs to be focused on rounding up violent convicted criminals out of our country because that makes sense. Nobody wants somebody that's on the run for assault or abuse to be on our streets. We want them off our streets and we want them deported. But that's not what you guys are doing. You guys are going after people that are living their lives in the United States that have not committed a crime. And I think that is absolutely ridiculous and shameful.
So you think that the administration and I should be more aggressive towards the violent criminals?
Absolutely.
If I can make it okay. I agree with you. I have no argument there.
There you go.
I have no argument there. Yeah, they should.
All right, same page.
So but I think that the difference, it's just that they should go after I think that the people that are violent and non went after it. I'm trying to be careful with my TikTok language.
Well, here's the difference, right? Okay. I believe in using the resources that we have to round up convicted violent criminals. I think that just makes sense. For those people that are here that are undocumented, if they agree to pay every single tax that every American pays, state, federal, and local, and they agree to pay an additional tax on top of that of 7%, because there does have to be some type of fine for coming across the border illegally. If they do that for 7 years and they haven't committed a crime here or elsewhere, I believe they should get automatic access to citizenship in this country, because I think that that's something that they can pay into. They can come out of the shadows. They can go and work in America. And it provides billions of dollars for us right here in this country that we can use to put trades back in schools for our kids, to go and give universal health care for people. We can do all kinds of things with that money. And I think that puts our country in a much better position.
Hey, I'd get behind that, man.
Absolutely. We're on the same page.
Straight up, I would get behind that. I would like to tell you this, and this is not hyperbolic or anything, because what you just said was really good, and I would sign on to a bill like that. I really would.
Absolutely.
Generally. 5, 6 years ago, if you would have asked me about the immigration bill, about the immigration, not the immigration bill, but the immigration in the country, just immigration in general, on a general platform, I was 100% just give everybody that's here undocumented, just give them citizenship. That's how I was.
Yeah,
I was just give them unfettered citizenship. That's how I was, because I thought that was the best way to move forward.
Yeah, no,
and I still kind of do. I still kind of do in a way.
I don't. People, and look, a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but I don't really think that amnesty is the way to go. I think that there does need to be some type of buy-in, I think, into the system that we have. But I think that this is what's going to be great to get citizenship in our country. They have to go through vetting to occur, of course. So I think that this makes us a lot more safe long run, if I'm just being honest.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I don't think the only reason I'm going to frame this is probably not that far off, and so we can have a conversation. You know what I'm talking about? We can talk civilized to one another.
100%.
I think that's the only way the country's going to go forward.
I agree. I certainly do agree, and I think
I think you're really sensible in the way that you're thinking.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I like I said, most of the stuff that you said, I would sign on to. So,
well,
anyway, I'll let you get back to more ops or whatever.
Absolutely. All right.
So, but have a good night.
Thank you. You too. All right. Much appreciated. Common ground is real. Like I said, some people might not agree with my position on this with immigration, and I certainly understand that. But, I think that, for so long we've been using the word comprehensive border reform without actually putting real substance behind it. And I think that because of it, it's not a good thing. I think that we got to go and put real ideas at the forefront. I get that I might be taking a hit by talking in actual substance, but I think a lot of times politicians just yap and they don't actually give you real ideas. So that's a baseline. I could think that, it could be negotiated from there, but I think it would be good. Hello?
Hello.
What's going on?
Not much. How about you?
Good.
So I had a question, actually about the previous guest that you just had up, just the conversation you guys were having about people coming over the border illegally and how Trump and his administration is supposedly only focusing on, like, I think the percentage you gave was 5%, correct?
Yeah.
Only 5% of the border.
No, I said 5% of the people deported are convicted violent criminals, is what I said.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So I wanted to ask you the fact that anybody, according to U.S. statute and U.S. law, that illegally crosses the border is a criminal, correct?
That's a misdemeanor, correct?
Right, which is a crime under U.S. law. You committed a crime, whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony, and that's even for just the first offense.
Sure.
Well, that's kind of where my question lies. Is yes, the sole focus is obviously to get the extremely violent offenders and criminals deported, right? But they are all criminals, regardless, based on the crime that they committed, which is illegally crossing. And I feel like a lot of people can't really comprehend that. They don't understand that. So I wanted to ask your opinion on that.
Well, so is your president, right? He's a criminal too. So I guess that it makes it even. But I think that ultimately, when it comes to this situation, it becomes a matter of what you want to do with the resources of the United States. And ultimately, I think that we should be using our resources to round up convicted violent criminals. I think that should be the focus, going after gang members, going after violent criminals in our country. I think that makes us a lot more safe, because if we're using our time to go round up, a person at CVS for speaking Spanish instead of El Chapo's best friend, well, I think that it becomes very clear which one is the bigger danger.
No, I agree 100%. But again, what people don't understand is that doesn't change. Are getting deported, and yeah, you didn't murder somebody because you're not El Chapo's best friend. You are still a criminal. You willingly and happily commit. You got to be grown adult and accept the consequences for your actions. No?
Guys, I don't know if this is true. There's unconfirmed. I'm not even going to say this until no.
You just froze for a while, so I did not hear anything you said.
I don't know if this is true. I just read. Hold on. Oh gosh.
Your entire chat agrees with me, by the way. Just so you know about the fact that it is a crime to come here. I'm not sure.
Oh gosh. That's not what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah. You froze on me, so I did not hear everything you said, for what that's worth. But
I'm talking about. It appears as if there has been a strike from Israel on Iran.
Just now?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Why would they strike first? I was going to ask you about that situation too. That was the only other thing, or like situation or point, that I wanted to ask you about, aside from the illegal border crossings, is how you felt about that situation and all the U.S. pressure in the Middle East right now. I'm guessing you disagree with that.
There's been a report from the New York Times confirming it. I mean, this is such bull. I think that the Iranian people, who I'd certainly support, being without United States and Israeli involvement, but I'm gonna not.
And you believe that?
I do believe that, but I'm not going to. Well, I'm not going to make comments on this until I've fully read and briefed on this situation. So I'm just going to stay focused on what we were talking about till I learn more. But in any event, what I will say is that in regards to immigration, I think it becomes time to a situation where you have to determine what's the best thing for our resources. And I just personally don't think that rounding up people at CVS that speak Spanish that are undocumented versus creating a program like I spoke about that allows for those that are undocumented to pay it a fine for 7 years and then they get access to American citizenship. I think that that makes sense. So,
well, don't you think that it's also very important when it comes to illegal immigration to have the American citizens as a factor of the equation, right? You're talking about like mean? The American resources. Like the citizens are the most important. Like you heard
the American
firsthand.
citizens, so the American citizens will be the one that benefits as a result of billions of dollars flowing to America that we can use for trade schools and everything else. I mean, that sounds like a great benefit to me.
I agree, but it's not a perfect world. That's not going to happen.
Okay, well, that's
when you allow that to happen.
Well, that's precisely what I've been describing is a program that allows for that to happen.
Well, okay, unfortunately, that's not.
Okay, who says that? Who says that?
We both know that.
I'm not going to say that because in a leader one day that supports that. So no, I'm not going to say that. No, because it can happen.
So this is completely hypothetical. You're saying anybody, whoever they want from any country on earth can come here illegally.
Did I say that? Did I say that? As long
as they pay taxes, they can stay and get citizenship after 7 years.
What did I say that? Obviously, this would have to go through vetting, right? So, but if the person that has come into this country illegally and they've been here and they have not committed a crime here or elsewhere, they agree to pay the additional tax. Yes, I do believe that they should get, if they can do this for 7 years and live here and work and be a part of the process, they should be able to get American citizenship. That's what I said.
And I like that, and I agree with it. The problem, though, that we're both going to run into if we want this to theoretically happen one day, is as of right now, and I don't see this changing anytime soon, it is a crime to come here illegally.
Brother, I just told you, I don't really know what about this you don't understand. I fully recognize that it is a crime to come across the border illegally. I've already said that. And I don't understand if you think that this is some type of gotcha or what. But what I said as my response is that what do we go, where do we go from there? You can have two options. Said. Now, you can disagree with that, but between those two options, I know that one plan is a wasteful spending program like what Trump wants to do and what you have articulated. The other one is a net positive for America that actually goes and creates benefits for our people. And I know they're down 40 points with Latino voters across America America, they've had a big, massive swing. People do not want the Republican Party because they are not getting what they thought they were getting. And
Party that looks like a joke.
you see,
the Democrats. They just lost the midterms.
You just precisely
in one speech.
You just precisely explained why the American people feel as if you are a joke, because you're focused on theatrics. You might be more focused on that, but the American people are more focused on the fact that their energy bills are up 13%. The American people are more focused on the fact that their healthcare premiums are up 26% because of Trump's policies. The American people are more concerned about the fact that there were more farm bankruptcies in the first quarter of last year than all the previous year. Virginia House of Delegates, why you lost in New Jersey, why you have lost absolutely everywhere in this country, and Trump has the worst wants the fact that you guys are shooting American citizens in the streets. Nobody wanted this. That's not what you told them you were going to do. You campaigned. Excuse me. You campaign on deporting violent criminals, on cutting energy bill. No, you're not, because only 5% are convicted violent criminals. So that's a lie. You campaigned on cutting people's energy bills in half within the first year of being in office and said they're up by 13%. You campaigned on having a record high job creation year and said you had one of the worst job creation years in history, creating less than 200,000 jobs for the full year, after Biden had literally the entirety of the time he was in office effectively job growth that was over 100,000 per month. You don't know what you're doing on the economy. You're wrecking things as it stands, and that's why your party is dead. It's over. It's dead. MAGA's dead.
You do realize that a lot of those statistics go into and definitely play a big part as to where you live in this country, right? What state?
Brother, that's why we're talking about that. That's why we're talking about national numbers, Mike.
You can use a national average all you want, but it also absolutely is very important to mention the state by state.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're talking about national numbers. lost in Kentucky. That's a red state. You lost in Florida. Miami mayor for the first time in 30. I mean, you guys are losing everywhere. So there you go.
I don't know.
Well, Google me, Google me and find out. Maybe you'll find. Maybe you'll learn something. All right. Cool.
Favor.
I don't really care about that. I don't care.
No,
I'm
well,
here
there's
to.
there's
I
two
don't
different
care.
policies.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm not here to debate Joe Biden's record, and I'm not here to
asking
do
Joe
any
Biden.
of that.
No,
Joe
I'm
Biden
just saying
is
there
an
was two
80.
different
Joe
policies
Biden.
there, right?
Excuse me. Joe Biden is an 83-year-old man who is not in office. I'm here to talk about the fact that our economy is in shambles. Trump's policies are making us less. I don't care.
Which one did you like better? 2020?
I don't care.
2024?
Don't care.
Or current?
Don't care.
Okay,
don't
well, I'm
give a
going to
shit.
tell you, I'm going to give you a few stats here that you left out.
I don't care.
To the border.
I don't care.
Unalived on the border.
I don't care.
It spiked up to 820.
I don't care.
Unalivings.
Great.
Yeah, you don't care. For the policies that we have. And by the way, you're a misdemeanor in crime. I'm glad you finally admitted it. It's a misdemeanor if you stay past your visa. It's a crime if you don't come through a port of entry. Can you?
Are you going to keep? Are you going to keep crashing out? Because it seems like you've been talking for like the last like few minutes. What we are here to talk about is the fact that our economy and our country is in shambles. And if you
And that's a lie, Isaiah. The economy is actually doing a whole lot better. The job profits are actually higher in the month of January as we go into February, March, and April. The stock market is up 16 points as of yesterday. So the economy that you're talking about, Isaiah, is actually doing a whole lot.
Not be doing that. I love my country, but I do appreciate you. All right, thanks for being on.
I let the viewers know.
Not like Trump, but no. I'm gonna fight to beat the hell out of these sick people that are in office right now. So, hello.
Hey. All right, so I just wanted to there was only two things that I wanted to address. One, you made the comment, the immigration, only a certain amount of them are considered violent crimes. That is a true statistic. You're right, that only a small percentage is considered violent crimes. However, those violent crimes don't necessarily take into into account kidnapping, sexual assault, domestic abuse.
Yes, they do.
Things of those natures. No, they don't. Under the statute, which is weird. I understand, but that's the truth.
So what do they classify it as?
Bro, don't. I'm just
because
I'm
they
just
do
messaging.
consider that. No, because that's not accurate at all. Because
I literally just looked it up.
No, you're not.
Does it? All right. Anyhow,
No,
so
that's
the
not
first
accurate.
part.
No, that's not accurate at all. Guy that they literally have on here is a guy convicted molestation, trafficking, and assault. The next one is exploitation of a minor. This is why you don't let conservatives every single time. Every time. Hello?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, bro.
So I just wanted to get some clarification. I just kind of hopped on. So are you debating that
Still pretty loud, my friend.
can you hear me?
No.
Hold on real quick.
long story short, the tariffs are bad because they're raising our prices left and right, and we did not need to do that. Yeah. Let's see who's next. Who is next? Yeah, in regards to what's going on in the Middle East, yeah, that's some crazy stuff. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to be doing a lot of research to figure out what the hell is going on. Hello?
Yep. Can you hear me?
What's up?
What up, brother? I'm mainly on your side, but I got a question because I live in a rural part of California. I got a lot of people that are MAGA, kind of, but just more just on the side that they got flipped in 2020. And from what I see, we're losing.
Yo. Oh
What's
my
up?
God. I'm actually so surprised that I got up here. I'm not trying to debate you at all. I'm just trying to say that you're doing incredible, bro. I really love your content. I just wanted to give respect. Also, that guy, the one that was just on the live, he was saying that it's illegal. It's a misdemeanor. It's literally the same thing as speeding. Like, these people do not understand that coming here and working their asses off, paying taxes, it's the same thing as speeding. Anyway,
No, that's
I'll let you
right.
go do your
Thank you
thing.
so much. We're just trying to do some debates right now. Hello?
Hey, what's up, bro? I'm on the same boat, man. I just want to say you're doing a great job. I just want to ask, do you ever do days where actually you talk about how we're going to fix the country overall?
I think that I'm probably going to start doing that on Substack. I think that's going to be kind of my thing on there. I've been trying to figure out like what I'm going to do with Substack, and I think that's kind of how I'm going to transition it.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, man. I'd love to be a part of that. I got like bills and things of that nature, so I'd love to be a part of that, man.
Let's do it. Let's see. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the world right now, guys. I'm getting like a
veterans benefits, combat veterans, or just veterans benefits. If you could elaborate on that, thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Yeah, there's been some cuts I know that John Ossoff has been talking about. I'm not as privy to that information, but I can look at it and tell you guys what I know. But it looks like none of these Trumpers really want the smoke. To be honest with you, I don't think they really want that smoke. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, man. I'm not looking to debate. I'm just someone looking from the outside in. I'm from SA, so
Yeah,
it's nice to actually talk with you.
No, I appreciate that, but we're only doing debates, all right? So I appreciate you.
Cool.
Thanks so much.
We can debate.
No, we're good. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hello?
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah, I think Trump just a bomb operation with Israel. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know anything about this.
This has been
just
confirmed for about 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, I've just been on live for the last 20 minutes or hour, I guess. So I don't know anything about that, but what I will say is that I'm not for forever war. Yeah. But
expensive, but that's always been a thing. Like gas used to be 10 cents, and they keep putting money into the system. Things got more expensive. It's not just tariffs.
So first off, you guys raise the cost of inputs for farmers of more than 12%. That's very, very apparent. You guys did that as a single direct action.
Wait, no,
so I mean, I don't really
Don't
understand
midterms
really
over,
where
they
you're
lost.
coming from, brother. I don't give a damn. The point is that
You
you
were
guys are
just saying about
losing.
midterms.
You're
kept talking about
losing.
midterms right now.
If you guys were doing so much
happens
winning,
all
then
the
you would
time.
win.
It happens all the time, stupid.
That's called. They do. You know, at this point, all they do is just come up here and crash out because they've got nothing else to say. Hello? All right. Okay. All right. Well, looks like that's everybody in the box. Man, it's been crazy, guys. This is crazy. My phone is blowing up left and right. I need to go read about this whole situation. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for sticking with me. I love you. I don't know what the hell the world's going to look like on the other side of of this live, but in any event, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyways, no live over the weekend. I'll be back on Monday with a big announcement. Somebody famous is getting cooked on Tuesday. Somebody famous is getting cooked on Tuesday. I cannot tell you who it is. Tuesday. All right. This guy is a real big piece of shit. And I'm going up there to cook him. And I think some of you know exactly who it is. But somebody is getting cooked. All right. So I will not be on TikTok Live on Tuesday. But I will say there will be millions of people watching live as this guy gets cooked. That's the only thing I can say. Millions watching live. We'll see if you guys can figure that out. Anyways, I love you all so much. It is time to dip.